Welcome to the Parrish The Thought Show. The opinions of Brian, your host, and his guests have not been sanitized or scientifically tested, so please consume at your own risk. Now, here's Brian.
Ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else is listening, welcome back to the program. Today with me is Rachel and Aaron Earnest, and we are up here in the amazing Summit Creek development of Woodland Hills. So, thank you two for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
You bet.
Why do you live here? Why this? I know it's amazing and the views are stunning, but why? Tell me why you guys moved here. What is it about this place that's so magical?
Well, I guess we were your neighbor first in Elk Ridge, and we loved that area. We had moved from California, and we would take drives just around the area, and we found Summit Creek, and we just thought, wow, this is kind of another world up here. But it's still so close to everything, and so when the opportunity presented itself, we were able to hop over. It's just like a mile or less than 2 miles, I think, from where we were before. And still beautiful views, just a different vantage point. And we weren't originally looking to move up here. We were looking down in the valley, but we couldn't. We just have a lot of family down there.
It's still close to the Glaston Golf Course, which is important. and then the neighborhood has pretty strict guidelines on what homes are supposed to look like and how much nature is supposed to be left alone. And it appealed to us because everywhere you drive, it's pretty well organized and well appointed, so it's just pretty, and it's got great HOA. The neighbors have been awesome. We've really enjoyed getting to know some of the people in the neighborhood. Yeah, overall it's been really nice.
Yeah, I wanted a pool, and rather than have
community
our
center,
own
yeah.
pool,
Yeah.
they have a pool that's heated, and then I think they stop heating it in October, and then they'll heat it for the week of Thanksgiving, and then the week of Christmas, which has been really fun for all of the company that we have. And so this way I didn't have to.
Yeah, we have the community
Yeah.
gym. The community is building pickleball courts right now, and then the pool with the hot tub.
Yeah, there's a clubhouse, but that way I didn't have to pay to take care of the pool myself. I mean, I guess we're doing that through the HOA, but it's not our own personal pool. We can still have access to it.
Having your own pool it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
Big expense, yeah.
Which we've never had our own pool before. So we liked the idea, but when we started researching it, we thought, this might be a little bit better for us. And to heat it in the winter is really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a pool cleaning service.
Oh, really?
That I owned in Palm Springs before I moved back to Utah. And so, yeah, it's a lot of work. And we had our own pool as well.
Yeah.
In Palm Springs, the weather would cooperate all the time. Mostly all the time.
Except for the windy season.
There you go. But here in Utah, or especially up this high, to have a pool and benefit from it maybe half the year, maybe a little more, it's better to have the community pool.
Yeah.
It's
for us.
really nice.
Yeah, because you can just pay your dues, walk away.
Yes.
So that's, the hassle factor of that.
Someone else has to deal with the
Yes.
broken pumps
or water chemistry.
Yes, all of that.
Before we moved into Summit Creek, I thought that the majority of the neighbors would be second home, not living here very often owners, and that's actually not the case. It's, as I understand it from some of the people I've talked to, it's above 95% owner occupied. So the homes are lived in. The neighbors are present, which is nice.
As you've met people, are they from here in Utah, or are they transplants like so many of us from California?
I think most are transplants. I think most are. You have some. What's been interesting is you have a lot of people in that demographic where kids are out of the house and they're kind of looking for a place to land and retire. And a lot of them were looking in Heber Midway. And in fact, several of them had properties there, so to build. And when they found this, I think they found it because of the Parade of Homes, but, and I know 2 families specifically up here that ended up buying down here instead of in Midway Heber, even though that had been their plan for years, just because you're still so close to Costco and Target now. We have a Target and In-N-Out, and like all of the things that it's nice to be close to.
We've arrived.
Yes, I know.
If you can get us a Trader Joe's, Brian, we'd be very happy.
I know.
Trader Joe's, please.
Will that round out the?
It just rounds it out.
I would never leave. Yes. Yeah.
So Costco, Target, In-N-Out, that's crucial.
In-N-Out.
And Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. Yeah. And we, I can't complain too much. We're a half hour from the Orem Trader Joe's, so it's not bad. But, around the corner, 10 to 15 minutes would be nice.
That's true.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about these homes that are up here. And you mentioned that there's kind of a requirement. There is a kind of a requirement on what they look like, because there's so many of them are this modern style.
Right.
I see a couple different styles.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're all this.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a rule here?
From my understanding, now we bought this was a spec house, the house that we're in. And so we weren't involved in the build process at all. But when we were looking up here previously, we were told that there is a requirement for a certain aesthetic with the materials used on the home and kind of the style of home. Now they're opening that up, it seems, a little bit, just to try and still keep it cohesive. But I have a friend who's building a home up the street, and hers will look more like a country house, maybe like a European style country house. But they're trying to make that fit into the model as well. And then there is a size requirement. It has to be a certain size.
Like a minimum.
Mm-hmm, a minimum square footage. And I don't think it's very large. Back when we were talking to them, I think it was like a 4,000 square foot minimum. So it's, for how big some of these houses are, 4,000 square feet
That's
up
a small
here.
house
Yeah,
for
it's not too bad.
What style of homes are up here? I thought you said once it's like a modern mountain. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like mountain modern.
Mountain modern, okay, yeah.
Around
Yeah.
like that.
And that's regulated by the CCNRs, I think, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's been, what I like a lot is that the materials being used, the homes don't pop against the landscape, that they blend with the landscape, which is what you want when you're up here and you have these views. You don't want all of a sudden there to be a bright white, in the middle of all the green home. Even though white homes are beautiful, you just kind of want the eye to kind of keep going. And so we've noticed that.
Where our home is at 5,500 elevation.
Mm-hmm.
So we're maybe 1,000 higher than where we were before.
No, I actually did that math.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that math. I think we're like 700. We're not quite 1,000.
Okay.
It's not, and I didn't think it was that much higher, but we get so much more snow than we did just down in.
Because you've experienced a winter here already, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
how is that? Because for folks that might want to be moving here and afraid of the snow and the hills and driving, what's that like?
So I'll comment on that. Woodland Hills, the city does a fantastic job at keeping the roads that you would need to drive up and down to the store from the neighborhood clear. So that's been really nice. Also, many of the neighbors have heated driveways. The builder for this home was also the architect of this home. And so he was the architect, designer, builder, and he was doing a home both in Red Ledges and this neighborhood. And we were lucky enough to come across this home. But this home does not have a heated driveway. And boy, do I wish we had a heated driveway, because shoveling the driveway and so we bought a snowblower for the first time ever. So we're California transplants that now own a snowblower.
That makes you native.
It makes us local, right?
Yeah. I was so happy that day we bought a snowblower because I just couldn't shovel anymore. And, we're pretty lucky. This last winter was not nearly as crazy as the winter before that. Mm-hmm. And so I think had it been the winter before that, we would have bought the snowblower a lot sooner. Mm-hmm. But
so my recommendation to anybody who's looking at moving up here is to pony up for the heated driveway, because even the snowblower is hard to maneuver and not my favorite.
You got to be strong to. They're self-propelled, but it'll manhandle you.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
it is hard.
But so I was surprised that we do get a bit more snow up here. But boy, it's beautiful. Like I'm not complaining about it. It was beautiful. And you do want to, like, even driving up this hill, that's one thing I asked, actually, the UPS driver, when he was delivering a few packages when we first moved in. I asked him, I'm like, okay, in the winter, how in the world, like, do you have a problem getting up this high? And he said, actually, I've had this route for 4 years, and I've only not been able to get up the hill one time. And so I was impressed with that,
Yeah.
that even a UPS driver can make it up in the snow.
Good.
Which was good.
We need our stuff. Gotta get our stuff.
That's
I
right.
know.
Don't impede progress.
Amazon needs to make it up here, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
No, we've really loved being up here.
Okay.
We loved Elk Ridge too. So the area, the people, you kind of just breathe a little easier when you turn on Woodland Hills Drive, and it just gets a little less dense around and
Because it'll stay that way.
I know because of all of the
And the lots there's a minimum, like, isn't it like an acre?
up
on
here.
lots, or
No,
smaller?
actually they've changed that. Yeah, like we're on not quite 0.4, and we're on one of the smaller lots, and the lots behind us. Now this is all just what the neighborhood is saying, so I actually don't know.
We won't
But-
hold you accountable.
Yeah.
They were half-acre lots behind us. I think they've been changed to our size, so just over a third of an acre, which is very doable. Part of living up here that appealed to us is we've had a property on an acre, beautifully landscaped. Our son would spend 4 hours every Saturday mowing the lawn. We have put that behind us. We don't want that now. we want low maintenance, beautiful views, and that's what this offers. So on these lots, it's nice because a lot of it is natural scrub oak, and there's a requirement to keep some of that if your lot has it. And so it's just a really beautiful environment, and you don't have to landscape a massive yard, which appealed to us.
Yeah. Yard work on Saturday is not my favorite Saturday.
No, not anymore. Those days are behind us.
I did that growing up. And
Me too.
I hated it.
Me too.
And I have a third of an acre, and my wife loves it. That's her hobby. I can't stand it because I did it for so long.
Yeah.
It's just, am I doing it for someone else, like the neighbors, so they can see my front yard looking nice? Yeah.
But your wife has created quite the English garden.
It's her little sanctuary.
It's a slice of
So
heaven.
it's her, brings her joy. So I
She's
help.
done a good job.
I've stopped grumbling about helping because it brings her happiness and joy.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just like, I want like a tiny home on 1/10 of an acre and freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
And
You know-
says, you'll be doing that by yourself.
Yeah.
Freedom. Well, that doesn't sound very free, honey.
We thought about that actually when our house sold so fast. We kind of were in a scramble to find a place to live. We just didn't think the house would sell that fast. And we thought about just getting a townhome and like living life everywhere else. And that's just home base because that appeals to us as well. So and then we found this place. And what I like about this floor plan is it kind of can live like a smaller home because everything we need is on this floor. And then when the kids come over, they can hang out in the basement and have their own space.
Very cool. Anything else you want to share that I haven't asked you? Like maybe working with the city, or how's that been, or have you had to?
We didn't have to go through any of that.
City of anything at all?
We didn't have to go through any of that with the build process, and so we don't really know how that would be. Yeah, anybody's guess. Do you know?
The few things that we've had to go to the city for, which was I think our gas line, trying
for
to
the
get that
backyard fire
bigger.
pit.
Yeah, the fire pit, and then just a few other things that has been really easy.
Yeah.
Very minor things, but really accessible, easy to talk to. It's been
So
good.
all in all, great place to live. You
Yeah.
want more neighbors?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
yes.
Yes.
Yes and no.
Yes, and slow.
Yes,
We actually
and
have a
no.
lot of lots around us, and so that would be fun. We're in kind of the pocket in the circle where we do have a lot of neighbors. There are several lots that you wouldn't have neighbors very close to you, and they're building a whole new section up high. They've started that now, and so some of those lots are pretty spectacular with just incredible views. So you can kind of get whatever you're looking
They
for.
all are incredible. incredible.
Yeah.
Spectacular views.
Yeah.
I've not seen one that's, this one's kind of,
Yeah.
this is ugly. I don't want this one.
Yeah.
They've done a
True.
really good job with all of the public spaces. We have a big green belt in front of our house, and that always looks really nice. And just, they do a good job. It's worth the HOA for considering what we get for our HOA. It's very low because we looked at other properties that had HOAs that were higher than this one that didn't offer all the amenities that this one does. So we're grateful for that.
Yeah, that's good. Love
right.
it. We love it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. We
Thanks
love
for
it.
coming. Thanks
Yeah.
for being on the show and telling me your experience.
Thank
being
you.
up here in the fabulous Summit Creek.
Yeah.
Of Woodland Hills.
Thanks, Brian.
All right.
Thank you again for listening to the Parrish The Thought Show. We know you have many podcast options and appreciate that you have chosen us. If you love what you hear, please give us a rating on whatever platform you find us. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. If you hate what you hear, only tell us. You're still here? Click on the next episode for more from the Parrish The Thought Show.